What's up, guys? On the fly. It's a Saturday night. What have I got better to do than to come on here and talk with you guys? Haven't done a live in a while, so I figured I would do one. The last live we did, unfortunately, was earlier this week with a bit of bad news. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Just a rough week this week for my childhood. I mean, you, yeah, we'll get into that in just a minute. Tonight, in case you haven't noticed, you see here Happy Gilmore. You see my Subway cups. Happy. I'm missing two. I need two more. So Happy and Shooter. So and my shirt. I'm a big. Everybody knows I'm a big Adam Sandler fan. I know that's not the popular thing to be anymore, like it was back 20 years ago. But yeah, I stick with who I like until they do me wrong. Um, so yeah, Happy Gilmore 2 comes out. Came out yesterday, the 25th of July. Um, watched it. I watched it three times yesterday. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I loved it. It was not. It's not as good as the first one, but that first one is like always going to be a special one for me. I mean, it's going to be hard to uh, to overcome that one for me. So yeah, but the I'm not going to talk about that one tonight too much. I'll just say that it was really good. I think you'll enjoy it if you like, especially if you like the first one. Now, I'm going to say something like one I thought I would like before was what Joe Dirt 2 was awful. So I'm not going into this so unbiased for these kind of movies that I'm like gonna say it's a good movie no matter what. No, I'm not gonna do that. This one was I really enjoyed enough to watch it three times, and I think you'll enjoy it too. I know there was a comment on my Facebook page from somebody today saying it was the worst movie since the Blair Witch Project, which I disagree with. But that's what it's all about, guys. You have your opinion, I have mine. Um, I just enjoyed it. I really did. The nostalgia of it. The story was good. Um, there's so much to look for in that movie as far as um, what's going on. You're watching to see who is that. There's one in there that a lot of people, I think, unless you already knew who he was going to be, that a lot of people won't realize who that is. And it's a pretty famous celebrity that was doing. I honestly I knew he was going to be in the movie, but till it was over, I did not know that was him. That was the character he played. So be on the lookout for that. There was a lot of acknowledgments of some of the people from all of the Happy Gilmore uh, actors that had passed away since the first movie. Um, so that was pretty cool. And then he did take a nod to somebody from another Adam Sandler movie that passed away recently. So that was pretty cool. If you've watched any of these Adam Sandler movies, most of the time when he puts somebody in one movie, they're going to be back for another one. Uh, I did. You hear my dog in there trying to figure out where I'm at. So excuse me for that. But it was good, guys, and I'll get into that. I don't want to give away because and it's too soon to do an episode where we talk about the movie. So maybe in the next couple of weeks I'll do one of those. But tonight I'm giving my top 10 favorite moments from the first Happy Gilmore movie, and I'm telling you guys, there was a lot of moments for me to pick from. Make sure we're Yeah, there was a lot. But first, before we get into that, let's get into some of the news that happened earlier this week. First of all, like I said, just a tough week for anybody of my age in this age range, 5 or 10 years from me. Anybody that was in that era, it was for their childhood. It was a tough week. First of all, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Theo from the Cosby Show. On Monday, we get the news that he drowned in Costa Rica on a family vacation. 50, what's he? 54. I want to say he was 54 years old, so only like a couple of years older than me. Um, you know, the Cosby Show was one of those iconic shows that everybody watched. No matter what you say now, with everything that Bill Cosby has done, being in jail for what he was in jail for and what he's done. You watched the Cosby Show back then. If you were my age or in that age range, you watched it. You tuned in Thursday nights because I think about everybody did watch the Cosby Show. Um, some of the Theo episodes that you remember, of course, the famous shirt episode, the Gordon Gartrell shirt that he got Denise to try to make for him because it was so expensive and she really butchered it. Um, the one where the pilot episode where he, uh, the famous Bill Cosby line that he says to him, "I brought you into this world and I take you out." That, oh gosh, so many great episodes. One where, what was this teacher's name? Gosh, I can't remember her name. The one he said was such a witch, and she comes to his house and she's got her hair down and looking all pretty and stuff. And then that one, the Circus Burger one, then the one where I think they put him on like a trial. And of course, the anniversary, the Cliff Huxtable's parents' anniversary, the first time when they did the little music act, that was pretty cool too. But yeah, so Malcolm Jamal Warner, passes away at the age of 54. Just a sad, sad day. And I'm like, as a kid, and now even, because as a kid, I was like, yeah, I didn't believe this, but they used to always tell me that death comes in threes. And it did this week, as far as celebrities that we know of. Actually, one more went to four. But this Tuesday, talking about a kick to the stomach, making me feel like my stomach just dropped to my feet. Uh, Ozzy Osbourne, legendary rock artist. I'm a huge fan of Ozzy Osbourne. Not as big of a Ozzy fan as I am Kiss, but it's close. Ozzy Osbourne passes away at the age of 76. It shouldn't have been a shock, but it was. I mean, my daughter, I was getting ready to go for a run, and my daughter is in the other room. And I walk in. She said, "Daddy, they're saying I'm reading that Ozzy has died." And I was like, "Yeah, it's one of those hoaxes." So you start looking, and the more you look, the more you see people posting that. I mean, reputable sites. TMZ was the first one, and then I saw, oh gosh, some of the news sites were posting it, and that was pretty much it. And then of course, Ozzy's social media confirmed it later on. But yeah, I mean, you just saw him a couple weeks ago at the Back to the Beginning concert, which was he put on, his crew put on. It's going to be the last time that Black Sabbath would play, the last time he would play, and it all went to charity. It all went to a Parkinson's charity, which was what he was dealing with before his death. They ended up the entire show, all the profits went to that charity, and they raised $190 million. And I'm gonna tell you guys, if you didn't see that show, that was an 8.5 hour show that they streamed. I, of course, did. Excuse me. I didn't get to see it all. I saw clips here and there. Um, but everything I saw was artists that wanted to uh, wanted to show their appreciation for Black Sabbath and for Ozzy Osbourne. And that's what they did. 8.5 hours. I don't know how they did it for 8.5 hours, but Ozzy does a set of his solo songs, which was, let me tell you, if one of my last memories of him is getting to see him on stage doing Mama, I'm Coming Home. Forget how he sounded. I mean, he was 76-year-old. He was sitting. He couldn't even stand up. He wanted to. They strapped him in so he wouldn't stand up. It was so powerful. The emotion that was between him and that crowd that night, you could feel it watching it at home. And that's going to be one of those moments that everybody remembers. I know I will. But yeah, it's really sad. 76 years old, but what a life he's lived. There's a lot of people out there that will probably say, if you could have told me Ozzy would outlive some of these other guys, I'd have called you a fool back in the 80s, because he was wild, very wild. But I mean, huge Ozzy fan. Rest in peace, Ozzy. Just hate that. So I mean, I know he was in bad shape, but I just hate that Ozzy. It's hard to imagine a world without Ozzy Osbourne in it. So get through that. That's Tuesday. Wednesday, didn't hear anybody passing, but Thursday, wow, another shocker. Legendary WWF, WWE, WCW wrestler, the immortal Hulk Hogan. You get word. I got a text from my buddy Kyle. Hulk Hogan's dead. And I'm like, here we go again. This can't be real. But it was. Hulk Hogan had a cardiac, what they say was a cardiac arrest. And he died at 71 years old. Hulk Hogan's gone. So there's three right there. Hulk Hogan, I know they said he had some health issues in the last couple of weeks, had a neck surgery. From what I read today, the neck surgery, I don't know if something went wrong. I don't know how it did, but they had said the situation was they had done all they could do at the hospital, and they sent him home with pretty much a hospital room at home where the nurses and the doctors were going by to check him. Early Thursday morning, he had a cardiac arrest. There's a video out there of them taking him out of his home and on a stretcher, and you see the EMTs doing CPR on him. I mean, you can't see him, but it's somebody there, and they say that's outside Hogan's home. And I mean, I guess I don't know for sure. I can't say for sure if it was, but it doesn't matter. He's gone. Yes, it's a sad thing to see. Like I said, I've said it many a times over the last few years. You get to the age I'm at now, and this is all your heroes and the celebrities that you watched and you grew up being a fan of are going away, and it's going to get worse. I mean, there's a lot of people that I grew up watching and being big fans of. All the members of KISS are still here, the original members. So it's gonna get worse, and it's just a part of life. I mean, I hate it. I hate it because not only I hate it for the people and their families, I hate it for me because it's showing I'm getting old. I'm proud to still be here because a lot of people aren't at this age, but I enjoy so much stuff as a kid, and now to have to see these people leaving here, it's it's just been a crappy week. And the one lesser known, unless you're a fan of that kind of music or you were around back at that time I think he's a two-time Grammy Award winner from the 70s. Uh, Chuck Mangione, trumpet player, did a song called "Feel So Good," and he's been in some TV shows. I think the one I remember seeing that his song was featured in Friends, when Joey and the neighbor wake up every morning to that song. They sing that song to each other, but they call it "Morning Has Come" or something like that. I mean, that song is an iconic song. I mean, it was on the top 40. I mean, it was an instrumental trumpet song, and it was on the top 40, which is so weird. But at that time, great song though. I do enjoy the song. So those are the four that passed this weekend. Connie Francis, a not in my time period, but older actress, definitely a famous actress. She passed away last week, I believe. So it's been a rough July for the celebrity world as far as people passing away. So today, I'm going through my TikTok, and if you guys haven't checked us out on TikTok, check us out. You look up On The Flythe or under Stephen Fly, you'll find us. And I'm looking right now on there. Sorry about that. But I was going through there today, and somebody had put a song up there from Danger Danger. If you don't remember Danger Danger, they came around the early 90s, right at the end of what they call the hair metal. And they had a couple of hit songs, but this song was on, and I haven't heard this song before till today. It's a ballad called "I Still Think About You," and I can't really play it up here because I'm sure I'll get muted. It'll get muted or something like that. But I want you guys to take a look, especially to all my friends out there and all the listeners out there that grew up around that time. I want you to take a listen to it. It's called "I Still Think About You." It's off the Danger Danger Screw It album from 1991. And listen to the melody, because, like I said, when I saw it, I liked this song the first time when it was "Heaven" by Warren. If you listen to it, the melody, we were actually, me and my daughter were on the way home from getting some dinner tonight, and I was telling her about it, and she did the thing on Apple Music where you can play the song and shut out, you can mute the vocals and listen to it. I sang "Heaven" right to that. It went up. It had a change. The scale changed a little bit one time, but you could sing the chorus, especially to "Heaven," from that song. So I'd never listened to it before, but I don't know if I play it, it'll probably get YouTube will probably get me. So, but go ahead and check that out, and I will put a link up there to it where you can check it out and listen to "Heaven" too. Of course, everybody that was alive during that time period and listened to music knows what "Heaven," mega hit by Warrant. But I was just listening to that, and I was like, how did this get by? I mean, as many times as songs that are they get for plagiarism. John Fogerty, he got sued for plagiarizing his own music. How that happened, I don't know. And then you got Kiss had a out of court settlement with Alice Cooper about a song called "Dreaming" off the Psycho Circus album. Said it sounded too much like "I'm 18." I've heard those songs. Yes, it does similar, but this song right here, Warren must have just said, you know what, screw it. Screw it. We're not going to even bother with it, or either they never heard it. But it has a music video. It was a single for Danger Danger. Let me look this up and see if there was ever any talk about. And of course, I don't know what that was, but anyway, my browser just went crazy. So bear with me. But yeah, I just don't understand how this song never got mentioned. It sounded like Warrant. So of course I don't see anything. I'm gonna type Warrant Heaven in with the search as well. Nope. But yeah, it is. I mean, even my daughter said that is Warrant. That is Heaven by Warrant. But anyway, I want you guys to check that. I'll put that on social media. We'll have it. But give us a follow on TikTok. Like I said, check us out there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, which we're on live right now. If you can, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and give us a subscription there. Go ahead and subscribe. And wherever you listen to your podcast, guys, give me a 5-star review if you can. I appreciate it. So tonight, Happy Gilmore, the first Happy Gilmore. Of course, I was a Adam Sandler fan from the start at Saturday Night Live. And, Billy Madison had been out. And big fan of the Billy Madison movie. Anything Adam Sandler did, I was going to check out. So Happy Gilmore, released in 1996, February of 1996. Not really a big hit as far as at the theater, but man, when it went to video, it took off. $12 million budget, made about $41 million. Of course, Adam Sandler, Christopher McDonald, Shooter, Julie Bowen, who is Virginia Bennett. I always thought, till I started looking at stuff for this, I always thought her name was Virginia Bennett, but it's Virginia Bennett. So, Bob Barker makes an appearance in here. Carl Weathers, the late great Carl Weathers, late great Bob Barker in here, which is one of the iconic scenes, a fight scene between Happy Gilmore and Bob Barker and Happy Gilmore, and Bob Barker gets the best of Happy. So this movie was it's no telling how many times I've seen this movie. I probably could tell you lines backwards and forwards through this movie. Just an awesome movie. I know a lot of people probably don't. Well, back then it was cool to like Adam Sandler. Now a lot of people are like, oh no, you can't like Happy Gilmore, or you can't like Adam Sandler stuff anymore. So he's going to blah blah like that. Grown Ups, blah blah. Grown Ups was great. Both Grown Ups movies were great. And look, I'm not saying that every movie that he's done is great, because there's been a couple of real crap shows. So that gosh, what was that movie? I couldn't even watch the whole thing. It was just so bad. But he's done some great ones too, and this is one of them. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do tonight, my top 10 favorite moments. And you guys, you let me know what's your top 10 or if I'm getting this right. Um, and let me tell you guys, I could have done a top 20. It would have been easy to do a top 20 because there's a list up here. And you see, I'm looking at it now, and I'm like, there's one that should be in here that I left out. So I'm gonna use that as an honorable mention. So honorable mention for me is the batting cage. Start of the movie, Happy has just been uh, his girlfriend broke up with him. His grandma's house is being she's kicked out of her house for not paying taxes on it. He's trying to figure out a way to make enough money before the deadline to uh, to keep the house because his granddad built it with his own bare hands. So he's at the golf course. He earlier in the movie when the two movers were out there, and he bet them he could outdrive them on the golf course. He called it silly, but he finds out he could knock the crap out of the ball. And they tell him you can make some money doing this, out driving people. So he ends up going to the local driving range and he's taking bets on out driving people. And when he's finished, of course, Chubbs Peterson, who is Carl Weathers, he's a golf pro there, and he's doing golf lessons with a woman. He's not really paying attention to her, but when he sees Happy driving it, he follows him and sees him at the sees him at the batting cage, and Happy has a kid there. He said, "Hey, Mister, you're not supposed to be in there without a helmet." He said, "Just shut up." And he said, "Mind your own business." So he gets in there and starts taking shots from the pitching machine. I mean, he's taking it to his chest, to his head. Oh, that hurt a little bit, but I'm all right. And Chubbs cuts the pitching machine off. That's my honorable mention right there, the pitching machine, because I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, this is freaking crazy. So number honorable mention is the bat cage. Number 10, and guys, I'm froze up. There we go. Me as a Kiss fan, I had to include this somewhere, and I put it on the top 10. Number 10, his grandma dressing up like Gene Simmons from Kiss to make him feel better. When he moves in after his dad's funeral, his dad gets killed. She meets him at the door because he didn't really know her. He meets her at the door with a Gene Simmons mask on, and it sets his mind at ease. So number 10 is Grandma dressed like Gene Simmons. So number 9, Happy decides, okay, he finds out he can make the money by playing golf. He can make it pretty easy, he thinks. He's not looking to make golf a career. He still thinks he can be a hockey player. Troy Smith, meet me on the 9th green at 9. Dress nice. Yeah, shooter. That one of your top 10 there, Troy? That's one of your favorite moments there, I'm sure. But Happy is he can drive. But one thing he cannot do, or he's not very good at yet, is putting. And Happy has, to say, anger issues. He definitely has some anger issues. And when he's putting all around the green, can't get the ball in, and I think Kevin Nealon was playing another golfer on that. He said, send him home. He told him before he started putting, he said, send him home. And Happy gets mad at the there we go. Kyle Barber. Hey, I gotta send a shout out to Kyle. Kyle just got over his second hernia surgery. He just got home today. So him being up here tonight, appreciate you coming in, chiming in, buddy. I'm glad you're back home. Glad everything went well. You guys say a few prayers for him for his recovery. Everything went really well. So yeah, Kyle's a good friend of mine. Kyle is my podcast partner on If We Ever Do It Again, just another sports podcast. But yeah, Kyle's a good guy. Yep. And that's my number 9. That's your home. Go to your home. When he gets down on the free and starts looking at the ball in the hole. Go to your home. And Kyle's watching banana. Oh, I am. I feel pretty good about myself then if I'm right there with Banana Ball. So the Savannah Bananas and Stevie Fly. You couldn't ask for a better Saturday night than watching the Savannah Bananas, and I can't even say bananas. Cornbread. And Stevie Fly on the same night. So number 9 is Go to Your Home. So number 8, and this was a pretty funny one. Of course, Julie Bowen, who plays, like I said, Virginia Bennett, not Bennett, as I thought for so many years. You can tell Happy has an eye for her. He likes her. He makes some plays for her early on. He tells her his girlfriend died. I got you there, Kyle. I don't think you need to do that right now, though. But he even tells her that my girlfriend died in a plane crash or a car wreck, something like. I can't remember exactly what he said. And she was like, "Oh, that's nice." And then he said, She says, he asked her out. She said, "I don't date golfers." And he said, "Well, that's good because I'm a hockey player." So he finally talks her into going out, and they pull the whole Rocky Balboa theme into Happy Gilmore, which is awesome, I think. He goes to a skating rink, and of course, and even does the guy driving the Zamboni. He said, "Can we get a few minutes?" And the guy says, "For Happy Gilmore, you can have anything. You have as much time as you want to." So he gets out there, and she jokes with him because he can't skate really good. That was one of his downfalls, as believe it or not, as a hockey player. He couldn't skate, so that might be a little important. So they're sitting there talking, and he said, "How about this? It's a long shot." He said, "You make this puck, I'll never ask you out again. But if you don't make it, you got to give me a big fat wet kiss." And the whole time, right at the start, the lights dim. Oh, it's a power outage. And then all of a sudden, Endless Love by Lionel Richie and Diana Ross comes on and it's playing in the background. And one of the lines he says is, "Friends listen to Endless Love in the dark." So that was one line from there. But she ends up making the shot. I mean, she gets it in the goal. And he said, talking about a backfire, and she comes over and said, "Well, I didn't see it go in." So they start kissing, and it's at the end of the Endless Love song. But the Zamboni driver, all of a sudden you see Happy and Virginia go in the background, and the Zamboni driver is sitting there just looking. He's looking to the side. He's not even looking at the camera. And he's lip syncing the words to Endless Love, even the "My love, my love." And then at the end of it, he takes his hat off and just puts his head down. So funny. I mean, so funny. One of the iconic scenes from this movie. That is my number 8. Number 7, we talked about Chubbs. Chubbs becomes Happy's mentor. He says, "I'm going to train you because he had a great career, but his career got cut short by another iconic that could have been an honorable mention. Damn alligator bit my hand off." He's got a fake hand, so he couldn't continue his great career on the PGA Tour. So now he wants to live vicariously through Happy. He wants to train him. Happy just wants to get him at the first of the movie. He just wants him to show him the ropes for this to qualify for a PGA Tour card. But as far as putting goes, he's trying to tell him out there, you just need to do this. You just need to do this. He said, it's all in the hips. And he starts, he's behind Happy and doing it. It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. And Happy said, it's all in the hips. He said, well, put those hips on somebody else. Put them hips on somebody else. And he, but Happy listens to him. He says, it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. And that comes on several times during the movie. And even in the Happy Gilmore 2, the hips comes up. But number 7 for me is all in the hips. And followed closely by another Chubbs coaching for Happy. And this one was more iconic than the hips. Just tap it in. Tappity tap. Just tap it in. Tappity tap. But, Happy, Shooter said just tap, not Shooter, excuse me. Chubb said just tap it in. Just tap it in. And Happy goes to put and taps. And he doesn't make it. And, of course, he gets mad. Just tap it in. Tappity tap. Tappity tap. So, tap it in. Haven't watched the new one yet. They should have Happy join the LIV tour and work for the Saudi Arabia. No comment. No comment. No spoilers here, but you don't know how close you are. So number 6 is Tap It In. So now we're in the top 5. I'll say this, Kyle. My hair's going all over the place. I've got a bad hair night or something. I'll say this. It's not mentioned by LIV tour. I'll put it to you that way. You need to watch it, and then you'll see. You're right. And Saudi Arabians know, but LIV tour, you've hit it. You hit it. So number 5, we're in the top 5. So earlier we talked about, Happy doesn't make the team for the hockey tryouts. This is early in the movie. He's headed home. He picks up Subway, and he's walking into his apartment, and his girlfriend meets him on the way out. She gets in the elevator, and he's like, hey, I got Subway. Can you hang around? I've had a tough day. She's like, no. So when are you coming back? She said, never. And the elevator door shut. So he goes over to the intercom that reaches downstairs, and he's talking to her like, hey, blah, blah. He tried to convince her to come back, and she said, you're a loser, and you're taking me nowhere. And he's like, the hell with he talks trash, but then he automatically apologizes. And it ends up going to where he sings on the intercom. He sings the song, the Exile song, Kiss You All Over. I want to kiss you all over and over and again. And then he does it. Till the night closes. So the girl is gone. All of a sudden the door opens, and it's a much older Asian lady comes in, and he's giving this look like, oh, but you find out the next morning she spent the night, and she's wearing one of his sweatshirts, and that's it when he goes to check on his grandma. So yeah, Kiss You All Over is number 5. Number 4, and I'm sure some people will have this as number 1 if they were doing a list like this, is the whole Bob Barker incident, the fight, and the celebrity. They're playing, as you see a lot of times, celebrity golf tournament where a celebrity is matched with a pro, and the jackass guy makes his appearance there with Happy. It gets on his nerves, and he's really not playing well. And Bob Barker is just he said, I can't believe you're a actual golfer. And he says a few other things, and then Happy just has, all right, Bobby. And he ends up hitting Bob Barker. They end up fighting, and Happy headbutts him and puts him on the ground. He said, the price is wrong. Excuse my language. The price is wrong, bitch. And Bob Barker ends up choking him. And Bob Barker ends up beating the crap out of him. And I heard a story. Gosh knows if you hadn't asked me what his name was, I could have told you now any other time. But Shooter, and Shooter was in so many movies. I remember one of the first movies I saw Shooter in was Grease 2. Hold on. Christopher McDonald, excuse me. So Christopher McDonald was on the Rich Eisen podcast talking about Rich Eisen asked him, was he around when the whole when Bob Barker was there? And he said, yeah. He said, of course I was. And he said, it took Bob Barker didn't want to do the line when looks like you've had enough. And then he said, looks like the price is right, bitch. Bob Barker didn't want to say it. They talked him into it after some convincing. They talked him into actually saying that because he did not want to say it. But yeah, that whole fight with Bob Barker, they wanted to put a stuntman in there to do like the actual fight scene. The only thing Bob Barker didn't do was rolling on the ground. He did the rest of it. He did the punches. He did all that. But rolling on the ground, he did not do. So Bob Barker did his own part of his own, most of his stunts. I'll put it that way. But yeah, that one was one of those. When you watch the movie, did you see the part where Bob Barker and Happy fought? Bob Barker whipped him. So that was such a great, and it had to be in the top 5. Number 3. So Happy's grandma goes to this, I guess it's a retirement home or nursing home, kind of, but it's not really a nursing home because I think it's more like a retirement home. The supervisor there, whatever you want to call it, is Ben Stiller with this awful mustache. And he's one of these that's got this whole different demeanor when Happy's there. And this is a honorable mention here. Happy has got her settled in and is telling that guy, this lady is really important to me. And you know how some people try to influence somebody by handing them money. Happy pulls out a $1 bill and said, I want you to take extra special care of this. This lady hands him a $1 bill. And, Ben Stiller's character, I think they called him Hal. He is in the second movie. Of course, you can tell that's one of the cups I don't have from Subway is the caddy in this movie and Ben Stiller is the only two I don't have, and I want to get both of those. But after Happy leaves, his grandma says, could I trouble you for a glass of warm milk? It helps me sleep. And his whole demeanor changed. He said, you can trouble me for a warm glass to shut the hell up. You go to sleep, I'll put you to sleep. You're in my world. See the name tag? You're in my world, Grandma. Well, come to find out later on, you see them they're having arts and crafts time at the retirement home. And he's got all the people that are working and making quilts. And he's on the phone talking about how much he could sell them for to this guy. And when he gets off the phone, evidently he got a big order because he gets off the phone. He said, I got great news for you. Arts and crafts has been extended for 4 hours. So one lady pops up and says, my fingers hurt. And he's like, what? And he grabs her and she said, my fingers hurt. And he said, oh, well, now your back's going to hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty. And he said, any more? He's pretty much telling the other ones, any more people hurting around here? No. And he takes her off. He said, why you got to do that like that to me? Happy Gilmore walks in and he changes his whole demeanor again. So, number 3 is my fingers hurt. Now, the top 2 here are between Happy and Shooter, which, Happy and Shooter made the first movie. Second movie, Shooter is pretty funny. I won't give away too much about Shooter's role in this movie, but I'll just say it was Christopher McDonald was pretty awesome in this movie. So Happy, of course, Shooter is the arrogant guy that's like number 1 on the tour. he's getting ready for the tour championship. All these other golfers, actual real golfers, I can't remember who exactly they were in this movie, but there are cameos in this movie, big roles in the second one with a lot of professional golfers in there. So if you're a pro golfing fan, you definitely want to check out this movie because they do a great job. One of them in particular does a pretty great job for me in particular. But he's they're in like a bar, like the pro shop bar for one of the golf courses they're playing at, and I think he's like trying to intimidate Happy Gilmore, telling him, and Happy says, I see what you're doing, and I don't like it. He said, I came here on this tour just to make money, but now I got another reason. He said, beating your ass. He said, I'd like to see you. Shooter said, I'd like to see you try. So Happy breaks a bottle when going after him, and Virginia Bennett comes in and she diffuses the situation. And when Shooter's walking out, you're going to pay. Listen to what I say. So Happy Gilmore says, we could go down by the bay, make things out of clay. We'll sit in the hay. What do you say? So that one right there, I laughed so hard the first time I saw that. But that is got to be in the top 2 right there. That could have been number 1, but this one was just the number 1 was such a good comeback. And nobody would. It's been said so many times, different ways, and no, I never really heard anybody say this back to somebody like this. So, number 1, you eat pieces of shit for breakfast. So they're having another. I think this is after Shooter buys. I may be wrong. Shooter buys Happy's grandma's house in an auction, and they make the agreement that Happy says, if I beat you, you give me the house, but if I lose, I'm off the tour. And they go back and forth for a minute, and it's Shooter walks off and says, this should be easy. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. And Happy fires back at him, you eat pieces of shit for breakfast? And Shooter's face just going like, oh, shit. No. So, yeah, that is my number 1 all-time Happy Gilmore moment in the first movie, pieces of shit for breakfast. Some of the other ones I had on this list, let's see here. Somebody's Closer, when they're doing the match at the end and Happy outdrives him and he says, somebody's closer. So that was one. Fighting the alligator. The alligator tries, the one that actually took Chubb's hand. He ends up fighting him. The amazing ball whacker guy. The Mr. lady from the retirement home. Let's see. The nail gun, where they're showing all his jobs, where he got fired from his jobs, what he does. Let's see. The caddy from the amateur tournament that he was to qualify for, where he chokes the caddy actually goes to take his clubs, and Happy thinks he's trying to steal them, and he knocks him down. 9 o'clock on the night 3, like Troy mentioned earlier. That was awesome. Lee Trevino always popping up and shaking his head like, no. Riding the bull. Let's see. Fighting with the coach at the hockey tryouts. We did that. You're going to die, clown. The happy place. Chubb's in heaven. We've only just begun. But that's just, part of such a great movie, and a movie that it holds a special place in my heart with this movie. But if you have not, I'll go ahead and tell you. If you have not watched, before you watch the second one, and you haven't watched the first Happy Gilmore movie, watch the first movie because there's a lot of things in that movie, the second one, that pertains to the first one that you probably won't understand if you don't watch the first one. A lot of there's some wrestlers in this. MJF from AEW who plays Happy's one of Happy's sons. Happy's got kids. He's got 5 kids in the second one. So be ready for that. Becky Lynch is in it as a golfer. I'll put it to you that way. Some of the people that one of the more prominent roles was somebody that I didn't realize was going to be in this movie was what's his name from The Sixth Sense, the kid from The Sixth. I See Dead People. Gosh, what's his name? Hold on, Haley Joel Osment, grown up. Yeah, I didn't like him in that, but yeah, he's in here. I mean, there's so many. It's so many. There's Easter eggs. Like, if you don't know what an Easter egg is, there's little things they put in the movie for you to see and to talk about. Oh, okay, this is they put that there because of this in the first movie. He does acknowledge in one scene. He does acknowledge all the actors and actresses from the first Happy Gilmore movie that have passed away, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, guys, check it out. It's a great movie, in my opinion. And that's I'm not going to say people are stupid for not liking this movie if they don't like it, because that's your opinion, and we all have those. I have my opinion, you have yours. So you got to check it out. Give it a shot. Before we go, what were we going to talk about before we go? Oh, I've got, let's see, 2 episodes of the final score coming out next week. This will be one of 2 episodes on the fly that comes out next week. You guys keep your eyes open. And like I said before, guys, give me a follow wherever you listen to your podcast off, wherever you stream it on, Spotify. Give me a follow. It's not hard to do, guys. I want to get, and give me if you're on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. I'm at 215. Hold on, let me see. It might have went up. 216 followers on TikTok. If you guys could go over there, and I'm going to be doing I'm going to try to go live on TikTok because they say I can now. I don't know a whole lot about the whole TikTok deal, but I'm learning. We have a song of the day on TikTok if you want to go check that out. We've been doing that for a while. A lot of different things up there. I keep people, when I do this on Facebook too, I keep people up to date on my running goals. I just hit a major goal on my running. I started running April 1st, which I run all the time, but for this year, I started running on April 1st, and I wanted to run 365 miles, excuse me, in a year. I hit that on July 21st. So now I'm going for 500 in a year, and for I'm over 3,000 miles overall. I'm at like 3260 something. So I want to get to 3,500 next. Anyway, check us out there. Check us out on Facebook, guys. Follow the Facebook group if you haven't already. We put a lot of different stuff up there. But yeah, just give us a follow, guys. Try to give us a 5-star review because that helps us out a lot. And it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't take you probably 5 seconds. If you haven't done it already, I don't know, Kyle, have you done that? Have you gave me a 5-star review on the fly or the final score? I bet you haven't. If you can do that, guys, it would mean so much to me. It's better than, I don't ask for money. I don't ask for anything like that. I just ask for you to give me a 5-star review and a follow or something like that. And it costs you absolutely zero. Zilch. It's so easy to do. So please do that. that's going to do it for tonight, guys. We will be back. We're going to try to do get back into doing the lives more often. And who knows, next week we may do the Happy Gilmore 2 review. And I'll give you what I think of it. And we'll talk about several things. I didn't want to do it this quick because it just came out yesterday. Excuse me. And I know a lot of people hadn't had a chance to watch it yet. So that's why we're not doing a review tonight. I don't want to give too much away about it either. But you guys give it a shot. I know a lot of people have on Netflix. So it's not at the theaters. It's on Netflix. Guess what comes out next week at the theaters, though? And I'm so psyched. I want to go see this. The reboot of The Naked Gun with Liam Neeson playing Frank Drebin Jr. How did that work? How did Priscilla Presley have Liam Neeson? Or did she? But I'm a big Naked Gun fan, with Leslie Nielsen fan, so I'm looking forward to seeing how Liam Neeson. I kind of think when I think about Liam Neeson playing a comedy after so many serious roles, it's kind of reversal. If you remember, if you're back when I was a kid in 1989, the Batman movie comes out with Michael Keaton. Everybody's saying he's a comedy actor. He can't do this. Well, I guess what? He's the best Batman that's ever played a Batman, in my opinion. So we'll just leave it at that. But guys, Saturday night, I'm getting ready to go relax, maybe watch a movie, maybe watch Happy Gilmore 2 again. Who knows? But I'm going to go relax, get ready. Vacation starts on Monday, so I'm counting it down. 9.5 more hours of work, guys, and I'm on vacation for 8 days. So will I be hanging around Alaska? Probably. More than likely it'll be a staycation, but we'll see. Anyway, you guys have a great Saturday night. Go watch Happy Gilmore. Go give me a follow. Give me a 5-star review and all that good stuff. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You guys enjoy yourself. We'll see you next week on The Fly.